In this episode, we'll be replacing the valve cover gaskets, spark plugs, ignition wires, and the fuel injectors. In the process of doing all this work, we'll be doing a lot of parts cleaning and painting. We started by removing the intake plenum by disconnecting the throttle body air hose, throttle body, and the plenum hold-down bolts. We marked the ignition wires with a paint stick so we'll know which wires go to which coil pack. The firing order of the coil packs are labeled on this bracket that holds the coil packs. After unbolting the front and rear valve covers, remove the old valve cover gasket and the spark plug tube seals. For a car with over 150,000 miles, the valve train looked clean and in pretty good shape with no buildup of oil sludge and varnish. On the front valve cover, we stripped off the old wrinkled paint using a combination of heat, wire brush, and finally with a paint stripping liquid. With the plenum cleaned up, we applied a couple of coats of heat-resistant aluminum paint to dress it up and make it look like new. We did the same for the rear valve cover. Using duct tape, we covered up the intake ports before working on removing the fuel injector rails and the fuel injectors from the intake manifold. The refurbished injectors came with new O-rings and base seals, making the installation onto the fuel rails and intake manifold straightforward and easy. We removed the old spark plugs, which were Bosch Platinums and looked beat up, and replaced them with Denso Iridium twin tips. These plugs are the latest technology and provide higher spark energy and greater longevity than any other type of available spark plug. All the new Toyotas come with these plugs, but Denso calls them Iridium Long Life. The only difference is they come with a slightly larger diameter iridium tip. Each installed plug was torqued to 18 foot-pounds. Before painting the front valve cover with black wrinkle paint, we coated the cover's lettering surface with RTV. After the cover was painted and dried, the RTV coating can be easily scraped off with a razor to expose the lettering. With wrinkle spray paint, heavy coats must be applied for the wrinkle effect to emerge as the paint dries. After around a half hour of drying time, the heavy coat of wrinkled paint on the front valve covers began to wrinkle. It was amazing watching the transformation. We gave it a few more hours to dry before removing the RTV coating on the letter's surfaces. Using a razor, the RTV and paint on the oil cap contact surfaces were scraped off, followed by all the cover's lettering. Before installing the valve covers, RTV was applied to the cylinder head's 90-degree valve cover gasket bend points. This will ensure a leak-free seal between the valve cover, gasket, and cylinder head. The cover bolts were gradually tightened from the middle of the covers, working our way out to the outside bolts to ensure even tension. The tightening cycle is repeated to ensure uniform tension. The twin fuel rail joining tube was bolted on with new O-rings and the injector's electrical fittings connected. Since the engine showed no signs of ignition misfire, the coil packs were kept, cleaned up, and coated with heat-resistant black paint. New Denso ignition wires were then attached to the packs and connected to their respective plugs. The intake plenum was now ready to be mounted back onto the intake manifold. Engine to plenum brackets, vacuum and coolant tubes, electrical connectors, and throttle body were the miscellaneous items needed to complete the plenum installation. The engine started right up at the first attempt. It sounded much better than before, but it was loud. The noise was traced to a bunch of exhaust leaks coming from the exhaust downpipe with a broken flex pipe. We ordered a new stainless steel replacement pipe from a vendor on eBay and will be installing that next. Please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.